before I finalize, I wanted to make two important points that I often see when it comes to citizen-consumer behavior, where it is talked about in a certain way about citizen-consumer behavior, or certain ground truths are sometimes forgotten in some of the work. The first thing is that, and I show this with this picture, is that often it's talked about the consumer, but of course there is no such thing as the consumer, because consumers are all different from each other. They are in different groups, they have different practices and ideas, so there are always different segments. That's why marketing does those segmentation studies. And it's super important to always be aware of which kind of consumer group you're talking about, which group is the one that you want to change, which one is a group that you don't think is going to change. So you have to really focus on the right group. And that's sometimes forgotten when there's a lot of talk about the consumer, because the consumer, there is no average consumer. People all differ from each other. That also means that in order to change something, like, for example, societal acceptance and trust to new technologies, one really has to think about which kind of activities can help, can foster this in which group. So that is one thing. And the other thing, I use this picture here which has underlying this the theory of the COM-B model. So talking about that consumer change comes about if different factors are triggered, and that can be capability, motivation, and opportunity, and then behavior change comes about. And this is sort of reflecting what nearly all consumer behavior change models are saying, is it's always a question of that it's not only one thing. It's information alone is not enough. Opportunity alone is not enough if you're not motivated. And also, even if people have the opportunity and the motivation, maybe they don't have the capability. So it's always, or very, very likely, it's a combination of these, while at the same time also it depends on which type of consumer group you talk about, because it might depend on the context which that this person is in.